save everybody creatively, because everybody can't be saved, because everybody don't have the budget to be saved.
But and that's the thing. It's like shit. You going all in for them, and them moms can't even go all in for themselves.
Well, that's what I just said. Like you put all this time and energy into a project that they're not even in position to work for you to benefit from it. It makes no sense to do that much work on a project and that shit don't get outside of Atlanta. Like, it's a portfolio project at that point. We don't need, if we're gonna do portfolio projects, we need to do some shit for Coke, do some shit for Adidas, you know, do some shit for somebody we can present it to who will give us a budget to justify that work. You see what I'm saying? But if all they're gonna do is a couple shows in Atlanta, you know, then they don't need the $1,000 job.
Nah.
You know, give them $300, and that ain't even. I mean, that might sound whack, but we know that we can do a quality job for $300. You know, but that might only be 15 hours of illustration work. So for you, Flux, that might be, bam, you do your sketch, you do your outline, you do your character, and then you just do flats. You don't do no gradients, you don't do the earring details, you don't do all that, you know, because that's kind of like what I'm trying to develop, because I realize that people love our illustration shit. Whenever I show people that shit, the first thing is like, man, how much do that cost? And I don't like doing illustrations, to be quite honest with you, if it's not for my own stuff. So I'm okay with saying, well, that's gonna be $750. You know, but for $750 you get illustration. I set you up a promotional poster, and I set you up, use the outline, the line work of the artwork, and you can do a one-color promotional T-shirt. Set you up with a real package to where you can work it. But see, that goes back to what we're saying. If I do all that, can they get the shirts printed? Can they get the posters printed? Can they even maximize the artwork?
But that's the thing. They don't like what you just gave them is information on how they can brand themselves or really push the project.
Right.
People only limit themselves to one thing and don't think about the other. First, let me get the CD cover. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, I'm doing the CD cover, having you a poster where you can plug your stuff afterwards, and a T-shirt which will plug everything. You know, even when you run out of CDs or whatever, if you decide to get it printed, you will still have a promotional item that people will constantly wear and to promote your name. And that's why I'd be telling heads, like, yo, get them T-shirts, you know, get them stickers, so when you get to the point where you have that, you got that time where you working on the next joint, you still gonna have merch to push your name until whatever come out.
Like this project I'm working on, I just got off the phone with my dude, and it started out doing artwork for a cover, right? But we doing stickers, we're gonna do posters, we're gonna do everything we just mentioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do inserts, but then they're gonna do stickers for, we're gonna do a version of the artwork as a sticker that can go on top of the jewel case, and then we'll do an insert, and we're gonna do a poster, you know. And for them, my dude does marketing and promotion. That's what he do. So he understands maximizing an image for visibility to benefit an artist. You know, it's like the persistence and consistency is important. But once again, if we doing projects for people who can't maximize your 70 hours of work, what is it for? You know, because once again, we got a lot. Like, dude, your catalog alone, you got a portfolio. You don't need no more shit in your portfolio. I don't. You know, I need more money in my bank account.
Yeah, all day. I mean, yeah. But that just cause, you know, and people think it's favoritism when you lay somebody with some extra dope artwork, and it's like, nah, they came at me right. Them ones gave me the dough I asked for, or at least work something out where I can eat. You know what I mean? So it ain't no I got problems with you or something like that. Nah, it's like, yo, them ones came correct. They respected my craft enough to want to pay me. You know what I mean?
And we gotta, not to cut you off, it's on us to earn that though.
Yeah.
I have a situation where a guy I was doing the illustration for his project, and I went over the time frame that I said I was gonna do it. So he was on me. So I called my dude, I called my homeboy Jimmy to talk to him about it. He was like, Kev, don't even stress. It ain't like they waiting for niggas waiting for this shit to come out. Mixtape. Like, but what ended up happening was when I ended up saying that, okay, this is what I'm gonna be done, he felt that, no, what I did is say, okay, what I can do to finish it, because you pressing me, I'll have to dumb down the concept that I originally gave him. Yeah. I gave him the concept for the illustration of what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, well, I'll have to dumb it down in order to meet your timeline, you know? And he was like, well, I don't feel like I should pay full price because I'm not getting what I paid for. I was like, you getting the illustration. That's what you paid for. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the concept. So you wouldn't know one way or the other. And then it went back and forth. And I was like, this is what we can do. If you don't feel like you want to pay for it, cool. I'll keep the illustration. You paid me $150 as your deposit, I'll give you a cover. You know what I'm saying? Now, basically what I was doing is I was eating the 30 hours that I had put into this shit, right? But you wasn't about to get that from me. Yeah. Just because you felt that I was dumbing it. Because I already know what I was giving you on GP. You know, so to try to take something away from that, I was like, well, you just won't get it at all. And what ended up happening is, through that conversation and back and forth, he ended up getting my point, and we met in the middle ground. You know, because I understood his aspect as well, and we met in the middle ground. That project got him placed on the site just off of the illustration alone. And when he called and told me, I was like, because that's what I was trying to do for you in this illustration. I knew what I was trying to do. You know, if I do an illustration for a cover, I want that shit to somebody look at it and be like, you know, damn, I need to fuck with this just because of the artwork. Yeah, you know? And I mean that's always our point. That's all. And people think, you know, we doing it, you know, because you paying us and stuff like that. But to us, it's like, yo, we, especially if we feeling you, we want you to win. We understand how marketed it is. That's why we do our visuals the way we do it. So once somebody see it, you know, they gonna fuck with it either they know you or not. Right. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta let us do what we do because we seen it from a whole nother perspective. You know? Yep. And it's like heads don't understand that, you know what I mean? And it's like it's crazy. I think that's giving too much credit. I think they understand. I know they understand because that's what they come to us for. They know what we can do. Like when somebody call Flux and say, I need a cover illustration, they know what that means. They know what they're trying to get. They know the impact that that's going to produce before anybody hear the music. I think the dyslexia, the memory failure, or the lack of concern comes to when it's time to pay for that. Then it's a problem. Yeah. You know? And granted, everybody not in a position to break bread like that. But you gotta know what your means are. You might not be able to get an illustration for Flux. You might just have to get some graphics. Yeah. Which might be dope too. Not even might be, which is gonna be dope too. But you might just not even be able to afford an illustration. Because if you go to 7-Onda and you know you only got $30, you're not going to come away with $100 worth of groceries. No, you know what I'm saying? Don't work like that. You know, I mean, that's practical. That's real life. So, but that's the thing too. Is like, if your joint, you get a dope graphic, and Hands is not messing with your joint. My man already did his part. Now you gotta look at yourself, right? And like, yo, okay, I got this dope visual. I guess my music is dope. Right. Why
I'm getting like downloads. I might have 12. You know what I mean? I put out a video, 20 people might look at it. You know what I mean? You gotta question, you gotta change your whole marketing. You know, like, okay, I already got the visuals established. I got an ace in the hole with that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stick with that. Now I just need to figure out how to get them numbers because I already got the look. So you can't think, okay, I paid all this money to get these visuals done. That shit ain't work. I'm gonna try to get him for less or try to find somebody else.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's the question.
Which never works because I think all of our work is original. You ain't gonna find nobody.
I'm gonna say now, if Goldie and Flux don't do it, I ain't doing it either. Because I'm charging the same thing, probably more. Because I'm emphasizing we need more money. So the bounce around effect ain't gonna work. What you pay me is what you gonna pay Flux, is what you gonna pay Goldie. There ain't no way. That's why we sitting here doing this shit.
Yep.
Because there has to be some system of checks and balances for anybody who think, well, man, Mr. Soul trying to hit me for 500. You know, I know Goldie will do it for this, or I know Flux will do it for this. No, we all doing it for the same price. We just got different styles. You gonna pay 500 for that style. You gonna pay 500 for this style, or you gonna pay 500 for this style.
And don't think we ain't gonna find out because we do talk. You know what I mean?
I think that gotta be evident.
You know, it ain't like we doing this for show. We taking pictures and we posing.
But this ain't even this ain't even for about just us. For me, I feel that it's just like what City of Ink is doing in terms of breaking down the barriers and reteaching people about tattoos and shit like that. It's the same thing in how you pay for tattoos. Like how a person will come in the shop with a Fendi purse or a Gucci purse, but they don't want to spend $500 for a tattoo. So for me, it's the same thing here. It's not even just for us. It's for other artists who are wanting to do what we do, one, and for people who are hiring us for our services to know that this is how this shit really works. This is how it works. This is what, you know, what's required. There's always a negotiation factor, but, you know, when people come to you with a level of respect for what you do, then you're going to already give them more than what they pay for.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen myself personally, you know, like I was telling y'all a situation with my guy. I was just giving him files, you know. He paid me $200 for that. You know, I didn't do no work. I didn't have to create nothing. I told him he didn't even have to do that. And he was just like, I respect your time. He said, I respect your time.
Yeah.
And what you're doing for me. I got it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm like, cool, I ain't going to talk you out of giving me $200. But it was the principle that he said, I respect your time. And that's not to say other people don't respect our time, because I'm sure they do, but not to the degree that they need to, in understanding that to get here, you have to have a budget that warrants us wanting to push the button to go here. If your budget is here, that don't mean you're going to get no cheap work, because we all do dope graphic work. We can work wonders with photographs too. But the illustration stuff, like for real, I would almost rather not do no illustration for nobody if I can't get what I feel my minimum is. Because, you know, it's a lot of time. Like I myself personally, illustration that I do, I average 40 hours of work. Average. Like the promotional piece I did for myself with the eyeballs.
Yeah.
I worked on that for a collective of 5 to 6 months. From the sketch to the line art to the finished piece. Clocked in well over 100 hours in that. You know what I'm saying? Before I felt that it was finished, that I could let it go. Can't do that for $300.
Oh no.
Can't do that for $500. Like that level of illustration for me, if you want that, I need at least 1,500. You know, but you're going to get not just the illustration. You're going to get a whole package that I'm gonna give you to work that properly. You know, so what people have to understand is they have to understand what their needs are in terms of what they're trying to the demand that they're trying to meet. You know, like you don't need to kill an ant with a hammer. You know, if all you're gonna do is put out a CD, do a couple shows, whoop-de-whoop, then you don't really need an illustration to do that.
Nah.
You know, consider the amount of time that goes into doing that. You know, it's a lot of illustrations that we've done that came and went.
Yeah.
You know, and they just sitting on some. They probably in somebody's closet right now because they got 5,000 inserts. They only gave out 1,000 CDs.
That'd be the thing too. It's like when you bring that joint, when you resurface the illustration, it ain't like, dang, I remember that. It's like, yo, when did you do that? It's like, yo, I did that like last year.
Right.
What? I ain't never seen that, you know?
Right.
And you like, shoot, the person I did it, stay here.
That's exactly what I'm saying, is that it serves no purpose to do all that work if the people can't even see it. You know, that's a lot of sacrifice, you know, so we cutting that shit short.